to the Bombadcast.
What's going on, y'all?
Welcome to the Bombad Hour. Welcome.
That's right. We've made it. And look, to just get the intro going already, every Thursday, watch us. We're live. But to be honest with y'all, in 2 weeks, we're taking 2 weeks after this, we're taking a break because Omar here tonight is going to be talking about his love, his passion for Star Wars and everything else. And yes, the shirts, isn't that right? We got Boop. You have no idea. So Boop's one of our longtime fans. Me Too Buds in here. We've got In a Galaxy Eli. We got Brennan. Super excited to have everyone here. This is going to be a great stream tonight. Anthony.
Loomis,
yes.
one of my friends.
Is
cool.
it really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So this is perfect.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
By the way, we've been covering The Acolyte. If any of y'all like The Acolyte, go and watch our coverage of it. We've covered it with Joe Organa, one of our favorite co-hosts. And yeah, we've been doing that for the past 7 weeks. We wanted to, before we go on a break, we wanted to bring someone new in, a fresh face.
We wanted to actually have someone. Yes, we wanted to have someone like actually on the screen with Scotty, because people don't believe that Scotty is an actual person. They think he is an AI construct.
Real.
And Omar, could you just give his head a little squeeze there? Tell me, how does that feel? By the way,
It feels really good. I want my wife to know that, though. It feels really nice.
Okay, listen. Hey, we'll cut that part out for sure. Yeah, she's not watching, right? Yeah, we're good.
Heck yeah.
No, she's not.
No, so a few things up top. Omar and I have been friends for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 3 years of my life.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
He's good friends with my cousin. No. No, but
Apparently, I just found out tonight.
No, Omar and I have been knowing each other for a while. We've been talking about doing this for literally 3 years.
Yeah,
and we'll get into the story of all that in a second. But obviously this being a Bombadcast episode, we are thrilled because he is also a prequel kid, which we'll also get to later. But let's talk about how we met. This is very important. I gotta show a slideshow for this one. For those watching,
Let's get it. Let's get this slideshow loaded up.
Yeah, here it is. Watch.
Bing, bing.
So, with this, just know that it's about to get real Tiki real quick.
It's gonna get Tiki.
Not geeky. Real Tiki.
Tiki.
Real Tiki. So obviously this is Omar right here. Omar, tell the world what you do. Can you give us a fill in? Like, what is your passion? What do you do?
So first off, I'm a dad, which I have 2 beautiful children and a wife. So I'm a husband as well. That's what I do day in and day out. But other than that, I'm actually a ceramics artist. I've been full time for 5 years. I found that passion right before the pandemic hit. During the pandemic, I went full time. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I started hiring people and I grew the whole thing out. I have no previous experience when it comes to ceramics, but it is something that I get to do day in and day out and provide people this really awesome experience of getting these awesome handmade mugs. And being able to deliver that for people is probably some of the best enjoyment I've had in my life, other than, the children and the wife part.
I'm a proud owner of one too.
Yeah.
This is an exclusive
listen,
one.
I got a kiddo myself, and kiddos are great, but you can't put a drink in them because it is against the law. So
That's right.
I completely get it.
So you got to make your own mugs. That's how you
You gotta make it. Do not make a mug out of your children, please. No, that is not the way to be a father. No.
You have to make your own one, just like Omar does.
Yes,
that's right. You got to have all the ovens, all the clay. You got to have different types of freaking clay, apparently. Yeah, mine's fragile.
No, it's not. It's strong. It's just made of cardboard, okay?
No, but look, I want to show this real quick. So if it wasn't one person in particular, actually, it's 2 people. And John, our producer, our good friend, is in the back right now. John, his dad is real big into Tiki culture. And hope, John, make sure you send this to your dad. Your dad's going to get a kick out of this. So if it wasn't for John, then entered his father, I would not have met you.
Yeah.
There's like 3 areas of connection there. But it's funny because how John pitched this to me. John's like, hey, my dad's like into this Tiki thing, and he's got like a Tiki bar in the back of his house. I'm like, oh, that's not weird at all. And funny enough, I get there, and Mr. Jeff's like the coolest dude in the world. And like, it isn't weird at all. Like, Tiki culture is like a real thing.
It is.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And so I was going to show a picture of Mr. Jeff so the world could see. If it wasn't for this guy, and there's John, our producer, right there in the middle.
Beautiful.
And, if it wasn't
so
for
gorgeous.
Tiki Jeff, we would not have obviously a friendship that we have now.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why I wanted to shake your hand there. We're just gonna knock that out. We had to finish.
Listen, when you're in the same room, there's like the handshake.
Two men
everything
are in a room when the door is closed. If one puts his hand out and you don't finish that shake and nobody's watching,
no,
really love. It's not a friendship.
Anyways, back to the.
You can't leave it hanging. No.
Tell us about this. How did you get in touch with Mr. Jeff? I have no idea. I don't know where this friendship came from.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff was on Instagram, and I believe he reached out to me a few times. Then his son was looking for a gift for his dad for his birthday.
Yeah.
And so I, of course, didn't really have a big stock of mugs. One thing led to another. Jeff ends up coming over, and we strike a friendship, end up making a mug for his home bar, getting to go to some of his awesome annual events. He throws, I think, 2 or 3 a year.
Yep. Now he does the Tiki Fest.
And the Tiki Fest. He founded the Tiki Fest and does that. And he's very passionate about, you know, what he does. Just a great guy. Makes really good cocktails.
Yeah,
you know,
Jeff, incredible.
Jeff makes great drinks.
I like that. You can see at his most recent one, the menu is fantastic. It is always, look, there's Troy right there. You were talking about Troy earlier.
Oh, look at that.
Elder Pug.
Hey.
But no, he makes all different kinds of drinks. These things are strong.
They are strong.
Yep. The signature Tiki Jeff.
That's how I like them.
Mai Tai.
But I love Jeff because he's really good at bringing people together. You know, he's really good at getting random people in a room. And that's one of his strengths for sure.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I just didn't know this culture was a thing in Baton Rouge at all.
I didn't either. I only found Tiki itself, like I say, 6-7 years ago. And that was right before I got into this. And it's deep. The lore is deep, much like Star Wars. You know, it's just, it goes really, really deep. It goes deep. So
there's like there's like literally like conventions and
there are
entire restaurants.
Huge conventions. There's restaurants globally. You can go to tiki bars. There's some that are speakeasy like. There's more that are public like. There's your Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville all the way down to, you know, people that, you know, if you're not dress code professionally for it and you don't respect the whole thing, you know, you got to leave. And so there's some places where you can't even get in. And it's kind of cult like, if I'm being frank with you. You know, it's a little strange. And but it's fun. You know, it's really fun. Yeah. It's escapism at its purest form.
How did you get into it though?
Well, Disney has a place called Trader Sam's.
Yes,
and Trader Sam's is their tiki bar. They have 2 locations, just 2, I think. One on the West Coast, one on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I found out about Trader Sam's. They were having like a mug release at the time called the Hitchhiking Ghost. And a friend of mine was going to Disney World, and he's like, "Do you want this mug? It's $35." And I thought, Jesus, $35. It's like, what does it do? You know? And I'm like, he's like, but it's got the Hitchhiking Ghost, man, from the Haunted Mansion. And I'm like, Haunted Mansion. I love the Haunted Mansion. Yeah. So for me, it was like, okay, just do it. And it was like my life savings at the time. It felt like $35. Wow. Post-pandemic, that's laughable now. You can't get a cheeseburger. But and I love cheeseburgers. But yeah, I ended up getting that mug. And then I just start going on the internet and finding all these little random things. And then I go to Houston, Texas with my wife. I end up finding this bar called Leilow, Leilow. And we go in there and I get my first real cocktail. Okay, when I think of a cocktail, I think of something that your mother gives you and you want to throw up after.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know, 2 shots of vodka, but it really was a balanced fusion of things, and I got toasted. I had something called a rummy bear, which came in a glass gummy bear shaped glass, and it just.
I'm drunk just listening to the name, honestly.
Yeah. So then I see a real tiki mug. A real one. And I start crying and my wife gets me in the car and I look at her and I say, I'm going to make my own tiki mug.
Holy shit. That's wild.
A year later, I've done it 2 to 3 times. And then I now have run a business that has sold thousands of mugs across the globe.
And you make your living.
And I make my living and other people's livings off of this. It doesn't normally happen to people.
No.
I understand how fortunate I am. But there's something about this atmosphere, this tiki atmosphere, these bars, that it drove me to a point of, I'm going to change my entire way of life for these mugs, because that's how passionate I was about it.
God.
Yeah. So.
And did you do any similar?
I took art in high school. This is where's Troy? I took art in high school.
Who's your teacher? Do you remember?
I don't remember her name. I don't want to remember her name because she did not like me. And I remember her telling me specifically, and if she could hear me now, she was a much older lady. She may not even be alive anymore, but if she hears this, I will never forget her telling me, don't ever pursue art. It is not your thing. And she failed me because I was you have to understand, this was 2007, 2008. I was very emo. I had black eyeliner on. My nails were black hair. I had hair.
Like Jerry,
and it kind of went over my eye.
Yeah.
I was very emo.
I had the emo flip.
One thing. Yeah, we all did. We had the Vans.
I
flat ironed my hair.
It was 2000. It was 2005. Yeah. It was fine. Yeah.
The metal belts from Spencer's, I would clench it tight,
the
and
studs.
my poor little gut would the studs would cut into my stomach, and I was just like, but I gotta look good for the ladies, Yeah, man. It was a different time, man.
Remember when big belt buckles were a thing too? Anyway, I'm sorry. Please continue. Please continue with your story.
We can talk. They had the big old,
Oh, look, and then
emo cowboys.
Nathan Slocum.
Slocum. I know that
Slocum,
guy too.
Yeah.
We worked.
Nathan and Neil.
School. Yeah.
Yes.
And we ended up working at Canes one time. Man, the world is small. All right, let's finish this talk about the art teacher. The art teacher said I was horrible. I was emo. I was going through a tough time, young adult. And I sculpted. We were supposed to do a freestanding sculpt. It's the only time I touched clay as a kid. Okay.
Holy shit.
And I did a person being stabbed with the spear coming through its chest and blood dripping out. And I had it being impaled on a wall. And she's like, well, it's not freestanding because it's not standing. You put it on a wall. F. And
wow.
If I could go back, I would have saved that sculpture because that's, priceless to me now. Yeah. And I never pursued art because she really dogged me down. What a horrible teacher.
No, it's funny.
But, Woodlawn High School.
There's a Yoda quote there. The greatest teacher failure is. Yeah. So she failed you, but it showed you that you're more than. Look at this. You're more than this.
I pursued, and let's get into a little bit of this, and we can talk about the Disney stuff because we are gonna get there.
Oh, we'll get there. Take your time.
Yeah. So, but I ended up becoming a designer. I ended up getting into art form, but I got into art form for the plant industry, the theme park industry, the museum industry. I ended up designing and becoming an artist in the form of being able to provide for a family. Wow. And so it's just quite interesting that art was something that people told me, don't do that. First off, there's no money. My whole family's like, there's no money in that. And when they found out I was quitting my career, because I made good money, I made good money in my job.
Plant money in Louisiana is really good money.
I made $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I quit that to pay myself like $35,000 a year to go make pottery.
Yeah.
My family was like, this is not my family, not my wife and kids, but my extended family was like, you're insane.
You're doing a teacher salary.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Now luckily we live small, but I have a great wife. She trusted me and she knew that I could follow through with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know where I was going with this. You can live off of art if you work hard enough. You can do anything you want to do. And I think that's something that more people need to be told in life is a lot of people will say not everyone can do anything they want to do. The same people that are telling you that are people that are in those positions. They got there no different than you.
Same.
They're no better than you, no less. And we see that if you turn on the TV and you see people talk on TV, and you're like, why are they making $300,000 a year? They've swindled their way into there.
Well, look, Joseph Campbell's one of my favorite philosophers, and I got a signed book by him, and I have a picture up there of him. And his line is "Follow your bliss." And if you follow your bliss, you'll be happy, even if you're not making money. You know what I mean? If you are doing what you want to do, and you're in love with it, and it's everything you wanted.
I need to state that as well. I didn't get into this to make any money.
No,
this was pure passion, and I think that is seen by a lot of people. And we'll talk about the mugs in a minute. I care very much about what I'm making, and I make it for myself, much like this podcast is a labor of love.
5 years going too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? It's been every Thursday. It's been Mondays and Tuesdays, but it's been it's been once a week for 5 years. And we take very brief. We take a summer break and a winter break, and we fucking go all the way through. Every time. That's just, but because we can and we love it. We're happy, and this makes us happy.
Yeah,
it gives us a relationship.
It gives us a chance to kind of, blow off some steam maybe before the weekend comes and stuff like that, with kind of the things. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
And it's weird because obviously yours manifests to a physical item.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas ours manifest in a community. Like we've got people that have been following us and been friends with us for years. Like I want to actually pull it up on YouTube. The chat doesn't come through on here, but like none of these things would have existed regularly if it wasn't for the dedication to the art and what you do. So like, I don't know, that means a lot that people want to tune in, just like people want to buy your products and subscribe to your Patreon. So that's wild though. I just can't believe that like the things you've made are incredible. So let's actually look at another thing real quick. I want to talk about the process because there is a process of this. So obviously there's Mr. Jeff right there. There's this amazing tiki bar, and it's just in his backyard, and it's very well maintained, taken care of. There's a thatch roof and everything. It's pretty badass. Oh look, and there's Omar and I. It was like 2 years ago.
I know. Look how skinny
beautiful.
No, it's awesome.
That's a joke about it.
Oh look, someone else that knows you. Showing some love to Omar in the podcast.
Oh, Smooth Copycat.
Right
That's
here.
a friend of mine.
Yeah, there we go. Subscribe.
Heck yeah.
Subscribe.
Look,
Subscribe.
If you like this,
please.
We'll have Omar come on more. I never know. This could be a thing we do regularly. Look, okay, so I want to talk about the process because there is a fragile process to this.
Oh,
I
man.
imagine.
Yeah, for sure. So,
God, these are great.
The process starts with a sculpt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I start with a bag of clay,
Yeah.
and I use wet clay, which is actually clay that was formulated for Walt Disney Imagineering. And it's an air dry clay that was specially made, and it's actually produced from Laguna Clay Company out of California.
Mm-hmm.
I love getting the technical stuff.
Yeah,
Sorry,
please.
I like
No, do it.
into this.
We
but
love
I
that.
have. I start with a solid block of clay, and I treat it almost like as if you could take a wooden tree, and if it were a little more malleable, I start carving a sculpt. I start carving a design.
Yeah.
I then take that design and I create a mold, and a mold is made of plaster.
Yeah.
And I'll get to why we're doing this in just a second. In order for me to replicate that master sculpt,
Every time
we need to create a mold in order to pour liquid clay inside.
This is like a special effects artist.
It is much like that, very much.
Yeah.
So we will create a mold which creates the negative of this form. We then remove the form. We have a spout area, a well where you can fill in liquid clay.
Yeah.
That plaster is very absorbent. It sucks the water out. It wicks away the water from that liquid clay, making a shell. And it leaves the liquid part in the middle. You pour the liquid out, and you get a casting. If you go back to that previous slide, you can see it creates a casting, creates a mug there.
There you go.
And then you're able to...
How do you do it to have a... That's the thing that I struggle with understanding is you see that it is a form shape, but how do you get it to where that it has that space to actually drink from?
Okay.
Like I understand when you can make.
Okay, here I'm gonna walk. I get it. This is difficult.
Okay.
So imagine. no, and this is where it
I'm
gets.
Gonna pull it up big.
So pull it up big. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So we're gonna imagine you have a mold, a white plaster mold, and there's a hole in the top. You have liquid clay. It's got water and clay in it, right? You pour the liquid in. The plaster starts to absorb.
Okay, now that makes sense. It
creates a skin, but it doesn't suck up all this stuff, right? Because it's floating in space. We only use for a certain amount of time. We allow it to drink, then we pour it out, and then it leaves this opening here. When we remove the plaster walls, the pieces, we have this shell, and that's how we get the mug.
Okay,
does that make a little more sense?
That makes a lot more sense. Seeing it, because like to me, it's like you're making a solid object, but you have a hole in the middle. You know what I mean? Like,
and I will plug another artist real quick. There is an artist called Tiki. He is.
I follow Tiki. Yeah.
Is the only reason my business has been successful. He's on YouTube. He's also on Instagram, Facebook. If you Google Tiki, you will find he does beautiful videos. Describing the mug making process. Anyways, after the mug is made, because I want to finish talking about the process. After the mug is made. We have to go in with cleaning tools, and we have to remove all the seams. We have to add back detail loss, which does naturally happen. They'll be flashing, much like a cheap McDonald's toy that has those little seams on it. We want to get rid of that.
Yeah.
We then bisque fire this to a certain temperature to get it somewhat hard. We then glaze it, and then we fire it again, and it comes out to be this beautiful final item that you see here. There are a lot of other technical things.
I was going to say, happen. Like these inlays on here, for those that can't see them, we're going to really debut this mug.
Bring it up close there.
But like, you see those little inlays? I'm going to pull it up big on my
pull that up big again, man.
So
pull it up big.
Are all of these individually done? Like, do you have a main one you base off of, or do you are these on the mold itself?
All that is on the mold.
Oh, wow. So it'll always be the same.
It will always be the same. Now, there are some parts of this where I have to go in. Like, there's a seam here. So this actually gets... So I will come back by hand and add that part back.
Oh, okay.
So there are little parts that I have to add back detail. But for the most part, these will look... I know when they're different, but you won't. Every mug is slightly different because I have to attach these antennas.
Yeah, those are not part of
these.
The mold, no.
So these have to come out and I have to attach them. So each one is a little bit different, but you'll never know. You know,
God,
so
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
So the reason I bring that up, obviously, we can debut the mug in a moment.
Yeah.
But when you look at this and you make this, I mean, it's a very, I don't have to get it weird, but it's like a very hands-on, almost kind of like sensual, like there's like you have to, like, you're using all your senses to like actually creatively make this.
Now if you compare this to like a Geeky Tiki's or an import mug, I'm a brutalist artist,
so I'll show y'all what those look like.
Yeah, this is what an import mug looks. You can see it's got a lot of details and has a lot of feeling,
but it doesn't feel quite like these.
I'm very much about the texture and the depth that I carve in, and I choose
that looks very polished.
Yes, like, it is.
Yeah.
Now I've done mugs like that with a super high gloss finish and different, results. I've done that, but I tend to find, and so do the customers and collectors, I feel like they really enjoy seeing all the details and being able to touch, and you can stick your fingernail in here. You know, the fact that you can and it's just different. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, but also you're looking at a handmade piece in your hand, Omar.
Yeah.
Compared to the thing that I got at Target. You know what I mean? Like that's the big difference. You know.
Yes.
But it's so weird because I mean I imagine when you started this you would not think it'd be as big as it is. And I'm going to be honest with you, he is like one of to me from what I've seen and from what people say about you on the internet.
Yeah, I can be realistic.
The premier ceramic artist.
Yes, I can say now with confidence after letting the imposter syndrome and the ego part go of my body, I am a successful tiki mug artist, and that is shocking to me. Still, I'm never going to get. It's a very strange thing, but yes, the artwork that I make seems to retain value, if not sometimes grow value. And I have a close group of collectors that show up every time for me, and I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's shocking for me. You know, I have great people even in the chat, like Smooth.
Who's Anthony? You know,
Anthony Loomis, one of my top customers.
Alex Omar is the man.
Yeah, that's another great customer. I have tons of people that collect for me that I take care of those people, and I care about those people, and they care a lot about me. Yeah. It's a family, you know, and I really appreciate that.
I was going to show some more photos too, as well, to like kind of convey this idea. So this is the shipping process.
Yeah.
So how the hell does that work? Because these are sensitive.
Yeah. Well, this is they're very sensitive. So we double box everything. Now it's funny you're showing this picture now. This picture on the left with me smiling and looking very happy. I'm actually really, really stressed right there because that is the mug I just did for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines that I just shipped out.
Wow.
That was going. This is the first time. Let me tell you. Shipping mugs is something. Shipping mugs to go on international waters. It's like, you know, those mugs on that pallet had to go through an X-ray machine, and they even their TSA, like they broke a few mugs and ripped a few open. Well, I mean, they're very careful about what they're putting on a ship, because once you leave a port, you know, it's like when you go on a cruise, you have to have your passport and everything. Once you enter international waters, it's just like that boat that hit the bridge earlier this year. Yeah. Those people couldn't leave the ship. There's rules on international waters where you can't do stuff. I never could have thought making ceramic mugs for a cruise industry was going to be, I shouldn't talk, I'm still having a great relationship. It's a great time. I'm having a great time, but I didn't realize the just how in depth it would be. You know, it really is. And I normally can't talk about these things. It's a business side. Shipping those mugs has been one of the craziest things I've ever done. It's just there's the amount of paperwork.
Look at the face.
Yeah, look how happy I look. You know, that picture is what I sent to the client. I said, hey, the mugs are on their way. Everything's going great. So anyway,
look at this. We've got some
Well,
more friends. Shout out to the Oak fam.
Yeah, I got some.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, John's my man. John is a sculptor. He does beautiful sculpt work. He's wood carving. Sorry.
No. By all means, plug your people. Because if they show up to the Bombadcast, I mean, they're part of the family now. They're part of the Bombad fam, not just the Oak fam.
That's right.
Okay, so
that is damn
this
right.
one's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Jerry, check this one out. This one is for the USS Kid, which is one of the few like tourable battleships from World War II. Yeah, and
it is one of the Fletcher class destroyers that is left, and is actually a moving museum. It actually rises and lowers with the tide of the Mississippi River. I was approached by Park Stevenson's, who's actually Park Stevens has been to the Titanic 2 times with James Cameron.
Wow.
He's also a famous documentary person. Yeah, I know.
Park Stevens. I gotta look up this
Park
guy.
Stevenson. Looking at Park, Parks, Stevens, S-T. Yep, there he is.
Hold on, everyone.
There's the guy. He's the real deal.
Oh, look, that's from the USS.
Is he there with Jimmy? Is Jimmy with him?
Is Jimmy? There's Jimmy.
Yeah, look, Titanic.
There's Jimmy.
Hey, I told you.
Look at that.
Get him on the
podcast.
People think I'm a liar. People think I make this up.
No.
He just, I don't know if I can talk about this.
That's incredible.
Disney is doing a new Titanic film right now. Well, not a new film.
Oh, shit. I was like,
it's a documentary. Whoa. And he's going to be in this new documentary.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Remember when the submarine that imploded last year?
Yeah.
He was on the news again. You know, people have called on him. You know, he's one of the few people that have been to the Titanic the proper way, which is with multi-billion-dollar.
Not anyways. Yeah.
He has served in the Navy for many years. I am butchering his career. I feel so bad right now. He served in the Navy for a very long time. Yeah. He is now the executive director of the USS Kid. And he reached out to me because he's in Tiki. He loves Tiki, just like all these other people do. And he wanted to do a mug. Hey, look, here's my beautiful face. I love that there's no pictures.
Oh, look, here's one.
There we go. There we go.
Y'all can see
he wanted to do a mug for the USS Kid, and he walked me through the ship and the museum for like 2 hours.
Wow!
And I had to come up with one idea for a mug, and there was a story behind the hat that they were given post World War II, and we tied that in, and the mug is actually on display in the museum now.
Dude!
So there's a mug on display in that museum.
Look, here's another picture of a close-up of the mug right there.
Luckily, because of my museum background and the work I've done with museums, I'm actually a consultant now for the USS Kid, and I'm currently helping with
that's incredible
display cases. Yeah,
dude.
So I'm a worker.
I love that mug, by the way.
Yeah,
that mug's badass.
It's that brim on that hat of that mug. I wish I could have brought that. It's unbelievable. It's a solid piece of clay. Wow. It's a weapon.
See, that's what I was wondering. Like, is that two? I was wondering if it was 2 pieces or something like that.
No, that's all one piece. There's a large opening on the back, and I don't know if someone's done a mug with a hat with a brim that stuck out that far. I haven't seen anybody do it, but it's
I've never seen one.
Anyways, great. It's a great museum. If you're ever in Baton Rouge, the USS Kid Museum is fantastic.
I've been to it once.
The work they're doing now, Parks has been there for a year or two now. They are getting ready to turn that place into something really special, and I'm really happy to help with that. I've done tons of work for the World War II Museum in New Orleans. If you're familiar,
I've been to that. I literally went there.
I've built multiple exhibits there, and we could talk all night about this, but I want to get back into Star Wars.
Yes,
but I have a lot of experience doing a lot of things. So
this is kind of a low quality photo. Unfortunately,
it looks. This is like something out of a MySpace.
Yeah, but it's all the variety in the bolo ties.
Yeah. I got all these different. I got different pendants. I got mugs here. These are highly sought after. These
I've seen that on eBay.
Yeah, people will. I did that specifically for my Patreon Mountain members.
God,
and I've destroyed the molds. I don't even make them.
No way, dude! Isn't that cool? Omar destroying the molds. Yeah. No, okay, so we can get into this now. One thing I wanted to bring up in particular while looking at your pieces, like a few things in mind. What was the significance of some of these items? Because you said. There's a reason why this one in particular
so
means a lot to you.
So if any of my Tiki family is in here, any of the Oakwash Oakwashers or whatever we want to call them, they'll know that the first mug I made was a leaky tiki, and these are slit drums. So a slit drum is a something from the Papua New Guinea lore. But what Disney did is in Adventureland near the Jungle Cruise area, they kind of cartoonified these slit drums. Disney has been going through, and a lot of companies have been going through this change of respecting cultures.
That's beautiful.
And it's been really good. I think some people don't like it. Some of the stuff. Yeah. Some of the stuff has been really watered out, and I know some people are really upset about it. But as someone who's mixed race and Puerto Rican, I completely understand and respect the decisions they're making now. But they took things and they had a fun time with it. And these slit drums in particular mean a lot to me because as a kid, I remember going, and these things are called the leaky tikis because they have little valves. Yeah, they have these little valves inside of their mouths and in their ears, and sometimes they'll spew mist and water and shoot water. And what the Disney Imagineers did is they took these slit drums that are normally used for a ceremonial purpose, and they turned them into a fun, cool thing, a cartoon. They pretty much cartooned them.
Yeah.
From my childhood going to Disney parks, I always loved these things. And I thought, man, how cool would it be to drink out of this, you know? And so I just happened to pick it, and I've been making them for a while, and you can see all the detail I add on those. Now, those mugs. Yeah, look at that. I go through and I actually do all that by hand. A lot of that is by hand. All those little details do not come out in the mold. And that one there is called Park Colors, that glaze finish, because it's made to replicate as best that I can the finish of the hand painted version, which matching glaze to paint is impossible.
Yeah, of course, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not the same thing. Can't imagine. So we have to try to do that with glaze, and of course, I think I've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I would. I'd obviously say I've been to that park and that part of the parks, and I went to it in Hollywood, not Hollywood, in Anaheim.
Yeah,
and I remember looking at that and thinking about how. And that was obviously from the 50s, their view of
it's a different time
of native culture.
Yeah. And Disney's done a good job. The Jungle Cruise is another thing. It's a world famous ride, backside of water. They've done a few things. They've changed a few things, but there is the Disney Tiki people, which are very much, and I'm one of them. I'm a drug addict. I'm hooked. When I think of Tiki, I think of Disney, and they are hand in hand. Because it's escapism. When you go to Disney World, you are going there for one purpose. It's to leave everything at the door and to embrace a large mouse figure who is going to drown you with sugar, hopes and dreams, and sweat and tears. In Star Wars. You are leaving the world behind. It's literally printed from Walt Disney's voice. You leave reality, you're entering fantasy. That's Tiki. Tiki is fantasy. This is all fantasy, and Star Wars.
Let's talk it.
Is fantasy. Let's do it. It is Tiki. Let's get into it. Let's start this party.
Omar,
more science fantasy than science fiction, they say.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So obviously, Omar and I originally bonded off Star Wars, and then I learned more about Tiki through Mr. Jeff, Omar, and John.
Yeah,
and I've been to Tiki bars now. I know what that's like, but we need to get you to a Star Wars celebration.
Yeah.
That's the
that's
hell yes.
I've seen how you reacted. Those things.
You're not wrong.
Hey.
Okay. This right here
is a party every night for Star Wars nerds. Absolutely.
This mug comes out next week.
Next Saturday. As of right now, I have this. Yeah, look at Brian. You just, you should do this full time.
I wish I could.
You're really good at this.
Yeah. This is the Chieftain.
So that's this is the Chieftain, and this is actually the sideshow. I had to get.
You bought it.
It
wasn't that expensive.
I mean, it's everything's expensive.
Well, I mean, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
No, it's not as bad. It's a couple $100. But I've used it a few times in different shots. But I loved having Grogu in that shot. But anyways, let's talk about the Chieftain, Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, so Omar, to knock this out from the very beginning,
yes,
he said this before we went on live air, and I think it's important to say here. We live in a different era. So you're a prequel kid, just like Jerry and I are.
Yeah.
How old were you when The Phantom Menace came out?
Oh God, young. Probably. How old are you?
I was 5 when The Phantom Menace, so I was 95. So you.
Oh, I was born 91.
91. So okay, so not that far off.
Yeah,
we're not that far off. Okay,
99, 99, not 95.
99. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we were 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
I was very little.
8, 9,
yes,
7.
You would have been 8.
Numbers. I was 8. So I was a wee lad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing it?
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember pod racing. I remember everything.
Same.
I remember being freaked out. I remember getting we don't have it now, but getting the drink at the theater and the cup was themed.
Hold on, I got you.
Yeah, I'm sure you got it.
I got the what?
We got the Pizza Hut and Taco Bell cups and stuff.
Well, oh my God, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
there we go.
They put it.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, they put it on our sugary snacks. They put it on our sugary drinks.
Yeah,
it was everywhere.
Yeah. So I remember going and just being freaked out and excited and just like, wow, this is like cool, And then as we became adults, I found out that people didn't like those films,
which makes no sense,
and thought they were like bad. It's much like the hate for Nickelback, which is a different subject, but hate what you want to hate. But I was like, those films were good. I thought I liked Anakin. All these things it just worked for me.
You were Anakin's age.
It was
it was for us.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, God, I want to be that kid so bad. And it was our Star Wars.
It was ours.
The people that loved episodes 4, 5, and 6. This was our 4, 5, and 6. You may not love it because you're like, well, the saber fighting and the story and the acting and the way he acts. I hate you.
But now it's like review. Now it's like if you look at the themes and everything those movies set up, you can see why Hayden Christensen was the way he was. You can see why. The things that happened with Qui-Gon and Anakin, like all the midi-chlorians, all of it makes sense. Like if you can really take a second and take a moment and reflect the themes of those movies, the themes and the interconnected nature of it all is honestly, to me, and it sounds just maybe sacrilegious, I like that more than the original trilogy. I like how interwoven that shit is. It's so much better.
It feels iconic.
Yes, it does.
It is. For me, it's starting to stand the test of time. Much like when you look at the Lord of the Rings films, it's just like, it's going to stand the test of time. Yeah. It's like a Gone in the Wind scenario. Yeah. You look at some of these films that come out, and some people at the time might have been like, they're good. Yeah. They're great. They're really great. And I love them. And it's talking about episodes, if you want to get that now.
Do it, dude.
So I have a daughter, 12-year-old daughter, and this is what we were talking about before the show. And a lot of people seem to hate episode 7, 8, 9. They don't like the Acolyte. They don't like anything except for Rogue One. Let's just be honest. They all are like,
which I don't understand. I think Rogue One's a fine movie.
It's fine,
but it's not my cup of tea.
Scotty's got his issues with that. Yeah,
I think Rogue One's okay.
My 12-year-old daughter loves Rey. Yeah. She loves episodes 7, 8, and 9. She loves The Acolyte. We've been listening to the soundtrack from The Acolyte this week. She has Rey's lightsaber. And when I took her to the final episode, I can remember that this is going to stick with me the rest of my life. Episode 9, the ending.
2019.
She stood up and cheered in that theater. I need you to understand as a father, your daughter enters those teen years. She's not very reactive to things. She was excited. She's got a pure connection to these films. You can hate something as much as you want to hate it. And we can talk about this next generation of kids. They don't give a F word. They don't care what you think. Yeah. They're going to love what they want to love. Much like we love episodes 1, 2, and 3. She loves Rey. She loves episodes 7, 8, 9. She loves everything. It's her Star Wars. It's not my Star Wars. It's hers. It's not ours. And if you don't like it, fine. I think they're all right.
I like them.
I think they're good. They may not be, everything. Some of the things don't add up if we're being honest. Yeah. And there's loopholes, but Game of Thrones had Starbucks cups show up.
Yeah.
Let's just.
That's just the movie making process. I mean, there's just you're gonna have
and
things.
Writing sometimes doesn't go perfectly, but it's the love that my daughter has for it. It just makes me really happy. It makes me love Star Wars. And she's been very involved with this mug. She's loved this mug. She's loved having Grogu there. She's helping me with content. And I just love that I'm able to take what I love and mix Star Wars into it and bring it in with my child.
Yeah.
You know, it's important, I think, for all of Star Wars to continue.
I agree.
Is the fan base and the fan art and the fan genre is crucial. It's much like Star Wars Celebration is such a crucial thing for Star Wars. You know, it's much like in Tiki, these bars, the people going and enjoying the drinks and keeping Tiki alive at all levels, I think is crucial. You know, anyways.
Look, one thing I want to bring up too is because in this new era of Star Wars, movies were one thing. That was great, getting new movies, but we've got new shows. And like
so many.
This obviously this piece of art directly is inspired from the Book of Boba Fett.
1,000,000%.
So if you were to look at the shows that have come out recently, and I know you said you love The Acolyte. We thought The Acolyte was brilliant. Some people have their thoughts. We can respect them or not. Yeah. But I can say this much. What they did with The Mandalorian, with Grogu, what they did with the Book of Boba Fett, what they've done with Ahsoka as well, like that whole,
oh my gosh,
that whole little segment of the Mandoverse, people are calling it.
Yeah, and that's what it kind of is. They're all there.
They're super interwoven. Yeah, this right here, I mean, this was, I think, the finest addition. To all of Star Wars was that the fact that they gave
bringing the Tusken Raiders, and making like involving that so much in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna use both hands.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, involving that in the Book
get him
of
up
Boba
there.
Fett was so crazy to see.
Incredible.
And I remember seeing the Chieftain and that's what this is based on. It was the lead Tusken Raider that came out and provided for Boba Fett.
Yep.
When this guy walked out and you saw this Polynesian inspiration, and the way his grill on the mask looked. And it's like on the screen accurate version, they had this chrome effect, which I've tried my best to replicate with glaze. It was the coolest looking Tusken Raider I'd ever seen.
It was amazing. Look,
it looks so good. Yeah, we can pull photos.
We found it on Tumblr earlier, so this is the
here we go.
This is what the Tusken Raider we're referring to looks like. So
not me, it's over there.
Not Jerry.
Yeah, there he is.
But no, this is what it looks like. So if y'all can see it, it's kind of, at least if we can zoom in maybe a little bit. But this is a fantastic
just go ahead and
design.
You can go ahead full screen this one maybe.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. No, this is a fantastic design. I'll never forget watching and thinking, okay, they're going to go this route, and I did not expect this. But like, you have a whole Tusken tribe.
Look at the antennas too. Like his antennas are slightly different. You see how the front two are out, and then those back two are up.
Yeah,
and then you have the other guy. You know, it just all looks cool. And the different actors they involve, the actors that are actually underneath there playing those roles are, some of them have been involved in this, you know, some are at a fan base. You know, Disney's been doing that so much with Star Wars.
501st.
Is they're bringing in, these 501st people, and they're doing it great for the community, I think.
Well, the cool thing about this was it was very much like, for a Star Wars perspective, we were always told these things were savage monsters.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian season 1, episode 5 is when you saw them communicate in sign language for the first time. And you go, well, that's a unique. Then season 2, episode 1 is when you really get introduced to like, you know, the Dancing with Wolves kind of experience. Of like, these are more than just a mindless horde of, because these are, you know, this is who killed Anakin's mom. You know what I mean? Like we've been told for years that these things were like mindless, you know, zombie, you know, savages. Yeah. And then this show
never humified them. Yeah.
No, they never humanified, but this show is the show. The Book of Boba Fett.
Wrong word, but
the first, how many? It was the first and second. I think the third episode. This is what set me off. I cried at the end of the second episode when they're doing the dance around the fire.
Yeah,
that was so incredible.
We just got to see stuff, and I know a lot of people like the toxic side of it online.
Yeah,
they're just never satisfied, right? But I thought it was so amazing that they did do that deep dive into this, even if it's not, you know, perfect for everybody.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool to see this. And I was, the second I saw his head, I told myself that has got to be a Tiki mug. I want to hold that in my hands. God. And it took me, you know, 3 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Years. And it finally, you know, it's come to fruition.
Let's talk detail.
Yeah, let's talk details.
Okay, beautiful. So you've got 3. Actually, let's show all the mugs real quick again. So you've got 4 different versions of these.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'll walk you through each one. So lately, I've been trying to do different glaze finishes to allow people to get in at different price points.
Yeah.
So I'll do a simple bone wash. That's what this is. And it's just a simple, you know, white body with a black infill. It shows all the beautiful details, but it allows to come in at a more affordable price point for more people to collect if they're not used to getting into the luxury tiki market, mug market. From there we actually step it up a little bit into the what I call the jungle or the moss. And this on camera is glowing. It's actually a little darker and grimy in real life. But I love this finish. This finish just really highlights and screams tiki for me. After that, you get into the what I call the ocean, which I think is Jerry's favorite. Jerry's favorite.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This is your favorite, and I've been shooting this glaze for a minute, this finish. And this is actually a Patreon exclusive, so this will only be available for my Patreon members.
Nice, dude.
So except Gary, if you want to hit me up, we'll make it work.
There you go.
We'll see.
The podcast discount for you. I'll make it work for you. So,
okay.
So,
all right.
So, and then of course we get to what I'm calling the sand or the desert finish. This one is my best attempt at film accuracy by using a chromium glaze finish for the eyes and these little like.
Let me bring it up closer.
Sorry, you're better at this. This is your spot.
Look at that.
And you can just see all the details.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
even like the little pieces, but we don't know really.
We don't know what. Is
like,
it for breathing? Does he have cheeks, bone cheeks? I don't know what's.
We
going
know
on
they
there.
can drink through it and stuff like that.
Yes.
For the bandages for the side, I added this awesome Polynesian detail, and I want to shout out my friend Pascal De Maria, who works for Marvel, and Pascal is a great friend of mine. He sent me over some great ideas and reference. So I have friends that have been able to help me even with my sculpt work and give me inspiration, so really awesome. There you go.
Oakwash, made in Louisiana.
Handmade in Louisiana.
Wow.
Everything we do,
man. But it's been cool to see the inside.
Yeah, look
the
at
inside.
That.
It's like the Haunted Mansion, where you see the inverted faces.
Yeah.
But you can still tell what it is.
Yeah, look at that. It like glows, man. The camera, man, I got to get me one of these ring lights. So
it's
my skin looks great. I feel
like ring lights are wonderful for the complexion.
Now I know why the TikTok girls use these. This is what it's all about.
No, but this is such an incredible design to be that moved by those episodes to think to yourself, I'm going to replicate this. And look, I'll show it. I'm going to show everyone on the screen where you can buy them if anyone does want to get their first Oakwash product. So this is his official page.
Bring it up.
It's
I know where I'm going to go.
Oakwash.com. And you can actually, if you pull that there, you can see we'll have the 4 different finishes. And if you go scroll back up for me, click the Oakwash logo. Yeah, there we go. All right. So this is what I'm going to have coming out August 3rd, which is next Saturday. I don't know why I just snapped in front of the microphone. It's probably like, what just happened?
Love it.
You can see the different finishes there. And those links that say coming soon, that'll be the link that'll be live where you can buy the mug. And like I said, there's 4 different glaze finishes. I haven't locked in all the little details yet, but on here you can see the height, the diameter. It'll tell you it holds 16 ounces plus plenty of room for ice. And every mug is made right here in the United States. I've got, my shop. 900 square foot shop, me and Austin, the guy who works for me full time. We make these mugs by hand. Yeah. And it's a great experience, man.
And look, you can obviously go through his website and see who he's worked for.
Yeah, we've done work for Royal Caribbean International most lately, Tiki Oasis, USS Kid, Napa Valley Museum.
Napa Valley Museum, that's wild.
Yeah. We've done a lot of cool work.
And look, you can look, and this is all
about Omar. Section. Yeah.
It's a great site.
My wife helped me a lot with this.
Yeah.
Stuff, so she's really
wonderful.
But I love that you decided to do a Star Wars piece, because that's, to me, that's something that really.
I even themed the website.
Yeah, I can say with the
I was gonna say your logo there is even like very reminiscent. I love it.
Yeah, and I do that for drops. I'll theme everything. Like when Halloween shows up, you'll see the website, turn to a Halloween theme, and we'll do
that's so cool.
The whole thing.
Yeah, this has been one of, and obviously we can look at more than that. So if you haven't yet, go follow Omar on his Instagram. You can actually see his other pieces aside from the Star Wars one, but he's been promoting this live stream a lot. But this is another really good one. So you can just see
there's
the
latest Leaky Tiki. That's the last one in the line. There's 6 of them in total. I've been working on these Leaky Tikis for 4 years. So I've done over the last 4 years, I've done 1 mug every 6 to 7 months.
This one is
number 2.
Okay, number 2. So for those that are checking, okay, wow. Yeah, but no, it's so crazy because when I started following Omar inspired me to follow other people as well, because I mean, there's incredible artists out there. I mean, there really are.
So many mug artists. And some are in Tiki, some are out of Tiki, and you'll see that's a Koro, and that's a fun Tiki design. We're actually wrapping up production on that now. Those are getting ready to ship.
Oh, so cool!
I've had a lot of great people, great feedback on those. Look at that glaze, man.
I like that.
That's a 1-of-1 bowl. I hand sculpted. I hand built that.
Yeah.
So we got tons of different things. Every 2 to 3 months, you normally see me drop, new mugs. There's Utopia of the Seas. That's for a Royal Caribbean. Yeah, there's my kids.
Wow.
There's the fam. Yeah, but go follow them. I've been following Omar since we met those several years ago. And here's some more images of the actual USS Kid one. Yeah,
that one's so badass, man. I love that.
Got the BRLA, the Pirates of the Pacific. Yeah, that's a wicked.
Yeah,
mug,
that's so cool.
Wicked,
I mean, it's so funny, and I agree with him. Like there y'all are. Once you go down this rabbit hole, it's kind of hard to not stop. You know what I mean?
It's hard to set. You have to. In fact, me and my fellow collector friends have all kind of talked recently about not cutting back, but setting limits for ourselves, because you can really. It's like gambling. People end up at a casino and they can't leave. And that's kind of not like it's that bad, but you get addicted. Tiki is very addictive. Man, look at that. I love that
nice
glaze.
Design.
T-shirts. We got T-shirts.
I love the shirts.
If you go under full products. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I saw the hat as well, which was very cool. I like that.
Yeah, the hat, the Oakwash hat. Yeah.
Got a 5-panel.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a custom little run I did. And those are all 1-of-1. So that was like a very
Those are really
run.
cool.
And look, before we get into your Disney parks talk, I want to show everyone else what these things go for. And I don't know if are you okay with me showing this?
Yes, please.
Okay. So
I actually spoke with another artist, Van Tiki. We were talking about this this morning, actually, about eBay. So any Omar pieces or Oakwash pieces, you can see we sell jeans. No, I'm just kidding.
they do also do really well on the resale.
They end up some of the resale seem to do really well. People seem to set a really high value on some of my artwork, and sometimes it's frowned upon. Some artists don't like it. I actually find it kind of nice. Like this mug came out last week. Yeah. The Utopia of the Seas mug. And here's one guy asking $300 for a mug that was sold for under $100. So you can just see that the market sees a big value in what I'm doing. And I'll be honest, that makes me sleep really well at night. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is I'm making the right choices in life. And if you see here, this is really exciting for me. This is sold on a Royal Caribbean ship. It says Utopia of the Seas by ceramic artist Omar Girona of Oakwash, RoyalCaribbean.com. I mean, how crazy.
That's insane.
This is a multi-billion-dollar company, and my mugs are being sold on their ship. And I'm right here in your backyard.
Yeah,
I'm
literally
right here in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's such a
That's
when we met that night, I just couldn't believe that I found 3 things.
Well, there's a lot of con men out there, and I'm actually not one of them.
I was going to say,
it's kind of crazy.
You're a real dude.
I'm a real person.
And if you look, obviously,
someone's selling an Oakwash hat. What is this? $30? Oh my gosh! No. Why is someone selling a hat?
Some of these are incredible. I mean,
what?
275,
$399.
Yeah, man.
At $365, $250.
I remember the turtle shell drop. I actually remember that one vividly. I think you brought that to Mr. Jeff's house. Honestly, I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So you'll see people. I'm very grateful. For
any forgers yet? Anyone?
I haven't been really forged yet. I'm encouraging it. People have told me, they're like, I've had other, don't meet your heroes. That's one word I like to say. But I've met some great artists, and I've met some other people that I don't care for.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, how would you feel, if I did a leaky tiki? I'd be like, that'd be great. It would take some pressure off of me, actually, because I'm stressed out. I can't make enough stuff for people. Can you Please rip me off.
Yeah, for real.
At this point, I would be flattered if someone copied my work. I would be flattered.
So, okay. Obviously, we talked about...
we got all this out.
We talked about your love of Star Wars, number one. We talked about the opportunity to take the time and make this yourself for you. This wasn't for anyone. This is
I did it for me.
You wanted to make this design because this meant something to you. Yeah. This design in particular.
And my 6-year-old loves looking at it. So that's also counts. Kids get excited. So that gets me excited.
That's incredible.
This next thing was for business.
Yeah. So this is actually, man. So like I said, before I did all of this, I was a designer for years. And one of the greatest joys of my life was working for a company called Solomon Group. And we got to work with many big clients. I mean, I worked in F1, I worked in many museums, but I got to work for Disney. And we got to build one of the most awesome experiences, the BB-8 experience at Hollywood Studios. And during my time there, I got to keep some drawings, and you just saw, you know, some of the artwork. And as a designer, I actually worked hand in hand with fabrication. Me and a few other designers took concept artwork, and we would take that artwork and we would make it a reality. And that reality would one day become the meet and greet, the BB-8 meet and greet. Yeah, you can bring that closer so you can kind of see there.
For those that don't know, if you want to look, where's the first page? Just want to show it.
Yeah.
Oh
God. Yeah. Somewhere. Nope. I messed it up now. It's all right. Here, hold on.
I'm going to show what
these are probably priceless drawings. I'm not.
I was going to say.
Like Lady in the.
Yeah. Here we go. So if you read,
it's like Lady in the Tramp.
Page. What does that say, Jerry? Can you read it for me?
That says BB-8 experience. Oh, it says confidential. Do not print. Do not distribute. So no one print or distribute this.
I did not print, nor did I distribute these. This was my copy from Disney. So I actually,
you're finding a workaround.
This is my print, and I worked. This is from Michael Montgomery, who worked at the time for Disney, and he's a concept. You know, he did a lot of cool stuff, and I showed you in here. You know, this was right at the 30% mark. Oh, goodness.
When did you build this? What was the date? Let's see.
2016. These drawings would come in.
6/26/2016. Why is this important? Because The Force Awakens had just came out. I'm not joking, this number. Literally 6 months before this.
Yes.
The Force Awakens had just came out. This is a big deal.
This is huge. Well, Disney acquiring Star Wars for $4 billion, which is a steal. God, what a steal that is now, right? You think about it now, right? They wanted to pump the parks with Disney stuff.
Yeah. Hollywood
studios needed Launch Bay. Launch Bay needed meet and greet opportunities. Yep. They actually already had it out and going with a few other meet and greets. But people loved BB-8. When people saw BB-8 come rolling across that stage and it was released to the world, they knew they needed to have a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And you'll see, these are, really cool drawings, because this is at a point where we're at concept. So there's no actual drawing. So at this stage, right, these are all just ideas. Me and a team of people worked through the holidays, creating actual floor plan drawings, creating the wall panels, every screw, nut, and bolt, 3D printing. I actually got to a point, and I don't know if you've got the pictures on your slideshow from the different person, because I'd love to show
one
that.
You texted me.
Well, I just wanted to show these drawings because I thought it was really cool to show people. But if we get to so that's the finished product there. That's me standing next to the finished product, which we can come back to that picture. Go forward. Okay. Maybe. Let's see. I want to show. Yes. So if you look to the picture on your right here, that is a 60%, right? So Disney and the way they worked on these projects is there'd be a 30% meeting, 60% meeting, and then a 90% meeting. And that 90% meeting needed to be 100%. Okay. Lucasfilm at that point, Skywalker Sound was really working hand in hand with Marvel. So when Skywalker Sound would fly into New Orleans and we would have ILM come in,
holy shit,
they were sitting right next to me. I was so nervous because I'm a designer. Yeah. Building something from a bunch of ideas for people that I see as legends. And I'm not going to name drop any people, but there were a lot of really big people involved in this. Getting to see how Skywalker Sound was taking what we were doing and then using BB-8 by inserting the sounds in the floor underneath where BB-8 is standing, and then in the ceiling, there's actually 2 laser sensors that cost like $5,000 a piece. Whenever you get too close to those sensors, it actually locks the neck on BB-8 and prevents you from breaking it. That was to prevent children from grabbing the head. It also, ends the show per se. Yeah. That's actually been disabled now. It's crazy they spent all this money at the time. Yeah. It's so interesting to me. But I did everything from all the doors you see here, all those details, those huge beams you see on the side. That's actually just, that's all plywood that's been CNC cut. And when I would CAD it, I would build it up to where each piece had to be glued together. And we would build those beams up. And any poles you see, which there's really none on that wall, You see these poles on the far right-hand side.
Yeah.
That's just PVC pipe that's been painted.
Holy cow.
Up at the top, those huge tubes, that's actually just foam that's been cut with a hot sword and sculpted.
Wow.
We had some of the best fabricators in the industry,
of course,
working for us. And so everything here you see is wood and plastic
and
made
items.
Made in New Orleans.
Isn't
made
that
right
wild?
Here in Louisiana. Isn't that crazy?
Made in Louisiana, but then transported
to Disney, to Hollywood Studios. Now, like that panel behind BB-8 and this thing over here, this top part actually folds down. There's a phone in there in case someone has a medical emergency. Disney has a thing where there needs to be communication nearby. It also helps call in the next set of guests and keeps the mysteriousness going on, because here's the fun thing. There's 2 BB-8 meet and greets. There's actually 2 rooms.
Shut up.
So what you see here is one of those rooms. So that's how Disney's able to kind of feed.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
Foot traffic.
Foot traffic. And everything has to be fire rated to a certain point. I know I'm getting real technical now.
Please, this is so interesting.
You know, for me, it's like everything you see here is supposed to withstand so much. And I talked to you about the fire marshal for Disney. They are very, very strict. See these tiles up here. See these are the tiles I was talking about. If you look on the top right-hand side, you'll see some ceiling tiles. That fire marshal, he reamed us. He didn't ream me. He reamed the project manager installing that, because it is not up to code. It was not properly fire resistant. Wow. So everything had to be ripped out and then redesigned, recut again with a new material and sent back to Florida from New Orleans. Anyways, I'm getting real technical, and you can see I've blocked out a bunch of important people here because I don't want to. I'm not putting. I don't like to. You know, I respect people's privacy. Yeah. But you can kind of see some of these things. These are just large drums, and everything is kind of finicky and put together. Go back to the previous one. I want to show one more thing. I don't know if I even showed you a picture. If you look, where's it at? Oh, you can't really see it on here. What we did is
on that panel
on the right picture behind BB-8. There's a little. Well, anyways, we had to use the internet to create a lot of things. Yeah. And what we ended up doing is something looked kind of like a inside out of a speaker. So we found a JBL speaker file on the internet, like a car speaker. Yeah. And we printed it, and it's just the inside out of a car JBL speaker just sitting right there.
That's hilarious. Isn't that wild?
And I printed that. I found the file, you know, so. But it wasn't just me. This was tons of people. I'm spitting on.
No, it's okay.
There was tons of people working on this, you know, and I'm just one of the people. That's actually BB-8's head on top of my head. And if you look on the table to the right,
I see it.
That's his body, and those are the side panels that screw on.
See that? Yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow.
That is brought in directly from ILM. So
holy shit. So it's so funny, like. Obviously, you working on this must have been a dream come true.
Unbelievable. Every day, I worked 12 to 14 hours days, and I was making salary, and I worked through Christmas. I loved it though, man, because I mean, when are you going to get really to ever work on these things again? And I haven't actually since then. I haven't got the opportunity, and so it was amazing to be able to do. And then the biggest joy for me is I'm in this picture. But my children and my wife were there too, but she made sure I got a picture solo. Yeah. Bringing my kids there. You can see if you look on the floor, you see these little bars. Yeah. Those are each one of these is like $6,000, and they shoot. it's shooting a laser up to the ceiling. And they actually disabled it. But
so wait, okay. I want to show this then, because this is the cool thing from where's the concept art at? Yeah. From concept to actuality. For those that didn't notice, watch. So look at what BB-8's sitting on. It's more of a pedestal.
Yeah.
Whereas the concept art, it's a seat.
Like we came up with a completely different.
But like the pedestal looks so much better. It looks like he could, you know, actually be on that. But so like
yeah.
Can we show more?
It's
of this?
just like
yeah, please.
Okay, that looks like Ray's sitting him in there like a car seat to go to like hyperspace.
Oh, that's hilarious, Jerry.
You're right. Look, you know, you can kind of see.
There's the JBL speakers.
All the little light source panels on the wall were 3D printed, and those were all just painted.
Nothing like kit bashing, man.
Yeah, it's true kit bashing at a.
That's incredible.
Form. And here, look. Oh, well, you know what? I can show you both, and this is going to be kind of hard to understand if you're not a. So these are two. Can I point? So finger. So here's the queue. You come in. Here's my finger. Okay, you come in the queue. you get up into this room, and then one set of families go into this room, and there's BB-8 there, and then the other set of families goes in this room, and there's BB-8 there.
Oh, look at that!
And so they're able to run 2 families at one time.
Wow! That's cool. And they would have no idea.
Yeah. And now see these pictures. Oh my gosh! First off, the floor plan was wrong. We had to go remeasure the site 3 times. It's a concept what you're seeing.
Yeah, of course.
We had really nothing to work on. So everything we did was from scratch.
Look at this. They got the photographer.
They got the photographer. Yeah. So
I love this kind of
fun stuff. But I love that I got to work on something Star Wars adjacent. You know, and
I want to show the concept art one that you showed earlier. Right here. This is the coolest thing. So obviously we know a lot of the artists that worked on this because it's like Ian McKeag and it's Doug Chang and it's like obviously they use shots from the original trilogy in here as well. Right. But like this is all the images they wanted to base the lighting off of and the colors and structures and like some of this could be very much, you know, like look, confidential Lucas from Don't Distribute. Like this is some pretty incredible stuff. Really you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, look, there's that shot of Rey from The Force Awakens when she, I think, sees the Wrath Dawn.
Looking at
I don't know why that's such a random picture to have in there. I guess they wanted that feeling.
Yeah.
It looks like because that is like the little console where she's looking at like the security feeds, basically.
Oh, that is it. You're right. Yeah. Look, you see the bottom shot. That's her looking at the security feed. But like, this is the kind of stuff that gets me going because I love to know what things could have been like and what things actually ended up looking like.
Yeah, like look at this door.
This door is wild.
That did not happen.
No.
That is the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
So with the budget, that door went right out the door at 30%. I remember we were like, we're not going to be able to fabricate.
Oh, look at this. This is wild. So this one is like
wow. Yeah. So that's probably their CAD file of this.
Oh.
But we didn't receive those CAD files. We had to build from scratch.
Oh, wow.
And we did. And so a lot of these things were built in, you know, we would CAD design them in a day or two. So we didn't really have a lot of time. But dude, we made it. If you get to go there and if you look at this, I think the team did a phenomenal job.
God,
I think the team at Solomon Group at that time did amazing work. And I think that meet and greet exceeds the other meet and greets by a long
because
shot.
The thing is, you don't have to worry about dealing with like a character, someone in a suit. Is anyone remote controlling BB-8?
There's a camera. First off, if you go back, there's a camera right behind BB-8 right there. There's a little black dot on the wall.
Above his head.
And there's a person who's watching what's going on and helps react things. But I'm pretty sure there's also we're short on staff mode, which is just like someone pushes a button and BB-8 has like 5 reactions, you know?
Wow.
Right.
Because this was made pre-pandemic. You have to understand, at that point, Disney staffed like thousands of people.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've truly gotten back to the staff.
I don't think
nobody has. Nobody has.
I don't think anyone has.
Go to McDonald's, go anywhere. You know, there's like 2 people in there. It's not like what it used to be. So
God.
Yeah.
What an incredible,
what a cool little, this is just and to think of Star Wars, this is literally just like a little hair.
But the thing is, you're adding to someone's experience by being involved in this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so many kids, this is going to be so many kids' memory, like that they remember that makes them maybe fall in love with Star Wars too. And that is incredible.
You've made a
you
piece
did
of
that.
I'm very,
but like, it's no different than these. If I'm going to be honest with you, this is when people want to bring that feeling home. They buy one of your mugs, or they buy a poster, or they buy a helmet, or they buy a book.
Right.
Yeah,
like
it's all the different
escapism, man.
Escapism, merchandising. It keeps people's brains happy.
It does, and it allows us to not think about the shitty day to day. Yes,
as stressful as the world is right now.
Yeah,
which maybe more stressful than it's been a while.
Yes, you're right.
This is needed really bad.
Yeah,
you know, if you're ever stressed out, just clock out, go to Disney World, and drink a drink. Do some Tiki at Trader Sam's and go watch Star Wars. Watch The Acolyte. You know, it is a phenomenal TV series. So, yeah, man, this is me. I'm so happy we met, first off.
Hell yeah.
And I'm so happy that I got to talk about this. My NDA lifted, let's see, in 22. So I've been NDA free for 2 years. So I was able to talk about this. I just really haven't.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
Well, the thing is, you know, when you have these opportunities to do these kind of things, like, more opportunities show up. You know what I mean? Like if you open the door to it, and like this one, so I think maybe one of your friends, Frank Chartier. I don't know if that's someone that follows you.
Yeah.
Frank says, please remember there's future Star Wars mugs in mine. There's
going to be more. I have to, and I just don't know what they are yet. You know, I want to do like a. The thing is, there's a lot of Star Wars mugs, and when I say Star Wars mugs, I'm talking about like you can get a lightsaber as a mug, but it's like a coffee mug.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I get excited because I'll be like, man, that would be kind of cool. But then I'll go dig into it. I'm like, well, it's not really cool. And there's a problem as an artist where you kind of want to do the best thing possible, and you have to know, you have to say enough is enough. I'm gonna do this. I put this off for so long, and I finally just did it.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy I did. You know, it took me way too long. I sculpted this in a day and a half. So something that's been in my brain for 3 years, you know, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I opened a bag of clay. I sculpted it. And now I'm just wondering what I want to do next. You know, what's the next Star Wars mode?
So in terms of sales and purchasing thing and people understanding how this works, they are made to order.
They are made to order. Cool. We deliver in under 90 days, but I would like to tell people we actually have been delivering in roughly 30 days.
Damn!
Our turnaround time is cut down huge. And the reason we do this is for a couple of reasons. I like to talk about pre-order because I think some people don't like pre-order because of, unfortunately, just really bad practice by a few different companies.
Sure.
We always deliver. We always deliver on our word. We deliver on our promise. And I love pre-order because as a small business, we are able to create just the right amount of mugs and not too many, not too little.
Yeah.
Because sometimes mugs sell really well. Sometimes they don't. And the last thing you want to do as a small business is you want to make too much of something and you're stuck with it. If I ever got to a point where I had a storefront, which I
saw that.
I actually do have a storefront now. Yeah. There's so much stuff I can talk about. I'm going to have a storefront. Yeah, so I actually will have in-stock mugs now, but I'm talking about this. I like to do pre-order because it makes it feel special. You have something ordered. You can go follow me on social media. I post almost daily.
You can DM him too.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's very easy to get in touch with.
I actually like to show people's mugs being built. Imagine it's like when you order your car, but imagine you order your car and you get to watch the people build the damn car.
That's cool.
It's how it's made for Tiki mugs.
Yeah.
And I love being able to provide that. And it's worked really well for me. You know, it's really done wonders. And I haven't pivoted from it because it's been great. You know, it's been my way of running my business.
It's so awesome. Only because when you look at the artistry of it all, like, I don't know.
This isn't a mass-produced mug, you know.
That's what I'm gonna say.
This isn't made in a large factory. You're buying something from a small American maker, and we are literally adding like the little scratches you see.
Yeah,
I actually do add that after the fact. So it all takes time, and it all is it's a look at the blue how it breaks over. Look at that glaze and that green right there. You know, I just love how that looks.
That's cool.
And then you got Grogu in the back just creeping hard.
Yeah, he's loving it too, man. You know? But no,
he loves it. He wants
to acknowledge that. Like, and look, you've got a whole setting of like, you know, how to take care.
How to care for your mugs.
Yep.
We have a refund policy page. We have everything. I have a lawyer. I run an LLC. We pay taxes quarterly. We pay payroll taxes. I'm a legitimate business. So, you know, we have a few pins to sell. We have a few pennants left. And those were a bubble glaze. I had a lot of fun doing those. A lot of fun.
Oh, these are cool too.
So yeah, those are in stock now. Those are ready to ship. So it was a lot of fun having those. Those are leftover from a Patreon drop I just did.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All the mugs went really decently fast. It was really cool. And it's fun. The Patreon allows me to do a lot of fun things.
Look at this. One of our biggest fans, William, custom Tiki mug coming soon. Oh man, you never know.
You never know.
When I get a
damn. Okay.
No, Omar, this has been a blast, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
I know. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up in particular?
Dude, I'm just so happy that we're friends, and I'm so happy to be here.
Look at this in the shade.
I'm such a Southern man. Hey, man, great doing business with you, man. Look, the truck's out back. You know?
I love it. I love it.
From Arkansas.
I would say I'm from Arkansas originally, so yeah, I love that. I love that.
Spit and shake on it, man. I don't
That's
know.
right.
That's right.
No, I'm just so happy that this shows you just how awesome Star Wars is because it's connected us and Tiki.
Yep.
Tiki and Star Wars has connected us to this moment. Without both of them working in harmony, this podcast wouldn't be, we wouldn't be doing this episode right now. So it's really cool that all these different things, the BB-8 experience, your life's journey, my life's journey, Jerry's life. I can't. Why can't I don't know. My mouth doesn't want to say his name properly. Sorry.
All right.
It's a G.
It's weird. It's
G.
Jerry. I know. My parents decided to just absolutely mess with everyone's brains.
Just ruin your life. No, I'm just kidding. But
fine.
No, I'm just really happy that we've all been able to hang out and talk about this because I think it's really special. Because normally stuff like this, it doesn't get talked about.
No, because with normal people, that sounds bad. With normal people, you're like, this, and people are like, oh,
we're not normal.
Cool. Yeah, and you're like, oh, I wanted to talk about that, or vice versa. Like, there's a thing when you meet a fellow Star Wars fan, and like, if there's an like instantly, if someone's like, yeah, man, I didn't like the whatever. If the first thing you're gonna bring up to me is what you didn't like, I automatically know I don't want to talk to you.
There are,
but I had one of those conversations yesterday, unfortunately. Yeah.
But there are way more voices of people that love Star Wars, and most of them are actually silent. They actually don't want to talk about it because it's their little thing, and they want to take care of it. And they don't want anybody hurting it because they really, really love Star Wars. And I think you're one of those people. I'm one of those people. Jerry's one of those people. We're all in love with this stuff. And I'm happy I was able to share not only this, but my continued love for Star Wars, saying that my kids love it, and talking about the future of Star Wars, which is going to go on even after we're in the grave.
So I don't know. Do you know the next show?
It's what it's all about. It's about the kids, That's what it's all about.
It's all about.
I'm going to show Omar a little bit, not a serious leak, but the next Star Wars show is called Skeleton Crew. Do you know about this?
I've heard about this.
Now let me show you.
Okay. Are we about to
an image leak?
Get a live reaction?
A few days ago. It's literally for our fans watching, anyone that's a big Star Wars fan, this image leaked last week. We didn't get a chance to cover it, but
it was at a store.
It was at literally at a store. Yes,
at like a thrift store.
So it's gonna be like Stranger Things in space from how it's being pitched internally.
It seems like this is a very Goonies-esque image as well.
Yes,
it's like a little bit of Goonie feel to it.
So they got a Nautilin in there, which is really cool. I don't know what page is this. Hopefully, we don't see anything stupid. There you go. Look, so like you've got a Nautilin right there. Who's the main male actor in it, Jerry? What's his face? Jude Law?
Oh, it's got Jude Law in it.
Jude Law's going to be in it.
We don't know what he is. Yeah,
he's going to play a Jedi, but I don't think it's going to. We've got this droid we've never seen before, so like it's going to be different, and I love it. It's going to be like literally Stranger Things in space. So like that's the next thing. That's going to be December, January time. So
and I think the way I know a lot of people right now are film in general. A lot of movies have bombed. A lot of things have happened in all of film. With the writer's strike that was I think necessary that needed to happen.
Oh yeah,
and the amount of things that have changed. I think the amount of shows that they're working on for Star Wars versus movies. I think it's the right move for right now because. Like I say, the Acolyte. You watch the Acolyte trailer for the show, and I was kind of like, "Huh."
Yeah, I'm like, this would be cool.
And then I started watching the show. I actually didn't watch it at first. Yeah, I was busy. I was busy working, raising kids. Oh, wow. And then by the time the third episode comes out, I started watching it, and I'm like, because the internet, they're cruel. They say this is the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm like, okay, now I gotta watch this. I'm like, you mean to tell me
they hate it?
The worst.
Yeah, I'm like, if they hate it, I'm gonna love this.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
By episode 4, when they got into the saber fighting, I was in my house by myself, and I stood up, and it's the first time I've stood up for Star Wars since what was it, The Mandalorian, the end of season 2?
Luke showed up.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
But I remember when Luke showed up, I just stood up and held my head, and I was just like,
dude,
oh my God, look how powerful he is. And I just remember the saber fight and I don't want to spoil the Acolyte too much, but the saber kill with the 1, 2, 3 punch. I was just like, Disney, you did not.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, my children, like my wife was looking for our son. She was like, where is he? And
Jackie,
okay?
I told her she had
how much trauma is this causing?
Yeah, dude. Look at that.
Oh my god, what a beautiful day.
Oh, listen. I don't need to pay my therapist anymore right now. Let's go ahead and let's just weave away from this.
Today's
we're okay.
Is, 180. Remember the insurance?
No,
covered, so you're just gonna need to go ahead and make that payment online.
Yeah, this was
and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Well, when she brought both sabers, brought out both sabers, that was insane.
Yeah, that was
so
great.
cool.
That was such a good episode. So
so many good. I think all the actors were great in this.
So did you watch the most recent one, the final one?
Yeah.
Okay, so
what are you crazy?
So I'm just making sure you saw who showed up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What, Scotty?
I was making sure because this one.
Yeah. When that happened, I was like, okay, of course someone had to be on the island being creepy,
Man. Yeah. And everyone's like, it's so funny. The arguments against this show is the most fascinating thing to me because they're like, but like, how could they not sense the Sith was there? And then you watch the prequels and Palpatine is talking to the entire Jedi Council. I'm like, why are you going to shit on this show?
They're in his damn office.
Like, in his office.
Yoda is having brunch with the Emperor, like on multiple occasions. Okay.
And I get criticism. But I also don't understand when you don't understand the true source material, and you're gonna throw your words against it to try to sound smarter.
It's too many women and stuff.
Well, everyone's like another person's Jerry. No, everyone's like, why couldn't they sense Plagueis? I'm like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but they were on a cortosis, like a cortosis button, and like that is a sensory deprivation helmet, and like it's made of where they're at. And like, of course, they wouldn't sense the Sith. He's good at masking his, abilities. That's what a Sith does. I don't know. It's just people's arguments for this show is so ridiculous. The most recent one I saw, this one's crazy. It is a real argument I've seen, and this is terrible. The Disney lightsabers spark too much.
Oh,
yes.
Does that hurt? Does it hurt when they spark?
It sparks.
It's a real
sparks.
one.
It's dangerous. It's a fire hazard.
I thought it was really cool, man. And I know some people that actually watch the latest Acolyte. Yeah. And I respect their opinion, and they do not like the show, and that's okay. If it's not for you, I get it. You know. I still think it was really cool. My daughter loves it. I have to love it.
Yeah.
So.
I have to love it.
I have to love it.
A guy headbutted a lightsaber. That was good. Maybe that's what they're talking about. And I'm like, that was such a cool effect too.
That was amazing.
It was pretty neat. I thought they did great.
Yeah.
So
I did,
dude. I hope your podcast keeps going strong, and I can't wait to watch future episodes because I actually subscribed this week.
So. There we go.
Well, thank you.
And look, if y'all want to, I'll get this pulled up. Omar also has a YouTube.
Get that pulled up.
That
I'm on the internet.
He's on the internet, and the YouTube's great. It's
You're all over it.
Presentations of his work, but also
I got 200 subscribers. Hey, right. Come on, man!
Here I am.
Hey, come on, Bombad fam, go give him some love, okay? Come on.
I'll put it in the chat so everyone can go do it. It's
Oakwash, everyone go
Oakwash Ceramics.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm still getting it.
This is a rare beast. YouTube.
Yes,
it's weird.
Yes,
it
is a very strange creature.
If you, especially if you're one of our patrons, you need to go and you need to subscribe.
But look, it has everything on there. It literally tools the sculpt lift like it.
I got a sculpt wheel unboxing. I've done it all.
There's
a leaky Tikis.
There it is.
There they are spitting.
There it is.
So,
Oh, this is the one in Disney.
These are them. Look at.
Look at that.
Those are dead on. It's dead on.
That's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Holy shit! I didn't know how accurate it was.
Yeah, it's all coming together now.
Holy shit!
Hey, Oakwash family, we got him. He's hooked.
That's hooked.
He's dead on.
Look at that.
Isn't that neat?
Oh my god!
Isn't that fun?
No, Omar, this has been an absolute blast.
It's been the best.
Omar, can we plug any more stuff for you,
dude?
Your storefront. Well, tell us about that.
So we'll end on that. That's great. Okay. I have been wanting to have a storefront in a while, and in Baton Rouge, there's a place called the Artist Loft. It's actually off of Antioch Road.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of old ladies in there, and it's very much an air-conditioned flea market.
Yeah. They love this.
They
love that stuff.
But they got like Mexican food in the. There's like four. There's like pizza, and I'm gonna have.
Okay, we're going there next time. Come down.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a grand opening. I'm gonna have. Well, and I don't know if he'll be there, but he's got to come. But I'm going to do a grand opening. You should come.
I would love
because I'll have free pizza and free soda.
Okay.
I mean, it's a given, right? Just come 10 minutes, be like, I hate being here.
I'm in.
Thanks for the food. Just come get the free pizza. I'll get Domino's deep dish. Let me know what you want, and I'll order one for you.
Perfect.
Anyways, beyond the pizza, I'm going to have mugs there on display. I'll be offering mug classes where I'll have bisqueware where you can come glaze your own mugs.
That's actually sick.
And then you can come back a week later and pick it up after I fired it in the kiln.
Oh, wow.
No
and there'll be limited spots for that because they have like a little area. It looks like for a kid's birthday parties, but we're going to make it where you can do pottery classes. You know, I make it do what I can. Look, they gave me a really good deal. It's like $150 a month for me to get them. Yeah. And so I have a storefront area now in air conditioning, and I get to get all of my mugs, and I have a beautiful cabinet. I don't have any. Do I have? I'll hold the phone up to the camera so I can show you what we just started laying it out, but it's just going to be like a mug display area. I'm running a beta version of the new iOS software. Sorry.
How is it, by the way?
It's great. So you do it, and so we'll have a nice big cabinet, and there'll be some side tables. I'm actually going to get a big desk in there, so I'll be there sculpting sometimes on Saturday.
That's dope.
So you can come
by.
What
day's the opening?
I have no idea. I just bought it last Saturday. I am just starting to do this.
Yeah.
But I will
it all fired up.
Social media that I'm going to do this, and any local Tiki people, which we have a good bit. Some will come probably from Mandeville, New Orleans, and stuff.
Holy shit.
I'll probably do some giveaways that day. So if you come, you probably get a chance to get a mug. We'll do a couple drawings.
Okay.
And I'll do it for like 2 or 3 hours, and there'll be some of those mugs on display. And my goal is to go for an Adventurers Club museum, man cave-esque Tiki themed, thing, because everything else in there is like beads and shells and like these are my knickknacks.
Here's a soap.
Yeah, I made this.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest person in there by at least 45 years, so. It's gonna be a very diverse crowd of me and everybody else. Yeah. But I can't wait to see what this place turns into, because I really think it's a dope place.
It's not like you're losing out on anything.
No.
You're gonna make friends and clientele.
It is great, and I love that I have a place now where people could actually locally pick up mugs. And my goal is for people that live here, if they want to get a better rate, I'm going to start doing like a locals rate. Where you pay a price, and then you can just pick up the mug, and it's like
from there,
so we don't have to do shipping charges.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and to do classes and all those things, I think it just does a lot for me locally. And plus, the business is always pivoting. I've pivoted the business to survive, and I'm pivoting into kind of like this new thing where I'm working with these larger clients like Royal Caribbean. Yeah, and I'm actually selling more of my work to where it's being produced elsewhere. And I'm still producing a lot of stuff in shop. Yeah. But because they need thousands of mugs, I'm gonna have some of my work go that way. And so I kind of want to have a storefront. I'm still gonna be sculpting. I'm still gonna make tons of mugs. But as the business grows, I don't need to keep growing my shop. I need to have a storefront.
Of course.
And so I'm experimenting with this. And if I like it, then maybe we will have a real storefront one day, like an actual studio, where you could go to a store. Yeah. And maybe from there, maybe not. Who knows? Life changes sometimes, right? Your interests change every like 5 years.
Sure.
Go ahead. So what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying. Life throws you the curveballs every now and then, for sure.
Yeah, it really does. So I don't even know where I'll be in 5 years, but right now that's where I'm heading.
Damn, you're right here, brother.
Wonderful.
Right here,
yeah, you're here. You're part of the Bombad fam now. That's where you're at.
You made it. You made the Bombad fam officially. So, Omar, for those that have not watched this and obviously big fans of yours, where can they find you? Let's see.
Yeah, you can always find me at www.oakwash.com. That's OAKWASH.com. And when you go there, you'll get my website. You can see our products. And if you actually just Google Oakwash,
It'll be the first thing.
Google Analytics is my best friend, and it has put Oakwash on the map. So if you just Google Oakwash, you'll find our Facebook, Instagram.
All of it.
We have a link tree from our Instagram, which gives you access to our YouTube. No one really has used the word Oakwash. There's a few blue jean companies that use the word Oakwash for like a finish of their jeans, but there's maybe. Hey, there we go. And we have so
TikTok too.
Yeah, we have a TikTok. I'm a TikToker. Yeah, you got to get with these kids, man. They're and we have Patreon. Oh yeah, you can subscribe to our Patreon. We have over 161 paid members.
That's a ton of people.
Yeah, if you.
Oh my God, 161.
That's fantastic.
If you scroll down there, you can see our mountain member's been sold out.
Yeah,
but that actually is the main reason I'm able to have a store and run this.
Of course,
we have tons of paid members, and those people are my life. You know, see they get access to things, and it's been great. You know, they see behind the scenes all the time. It's awesome. Patreon, you know. It's like my OnlyFans, but my clothes stay on. You know, it's been really great. Well, my clothes have stayed on so far. We don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, man, might get desperate.
We'll see if that comes into the picture. Yeah. So.
No, but in all seriousness, go follow obviously all the Oakwash stuff. Follow Omar. Omar is very easy to get in touch with. Omar, we've obviously known each other for a while now, but this was all like created because of a DM. I was like literally last week. I'm like, dude, why haven't we done this yet? Let's do this. And I'm so happy. Yeah. Perfect time for this drop. If you want to plug that one more time, just so everyone knows. Yeah. This is the Chieftain. The Chieftain is going to be released next week on August 3rd over at oakwash.com. They will be available in limited quantities, and they will ship in under 90 days, and they're handmade right here in Louisiana. Yeah. There we go, dude. Heck yeah. How if you're into Star Wars and you like Tiki, there you go. So anyway, Jerry, I don't we have nothing to plug except we're gonna take a break for 2 weeks. We're gonna come back on. Let's get a date. What do you want to plug? I was gonna say, you get the date and stuff. I'm gonna plug. Very important thing to plug. The season 2 finale of Ionized Bastards, our Star Wars RPG show over on All Remaining Systems, Michael McCoy's YouTube channel. It is ending tomorrow. The final the final episode of the second season drops tomorrow, and it's a doozy. It is a doozy. Wait. So buckle in, kids. Just buckle in and get ready. And then we're ready for we'll be starting fairly soon the final season 3. So that's right. Oh, so it's not going to be, there's no break for season 2 to season 3 of the RPG series, or no? I'm not sure, but anyway, hey, no, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Star Wars, then you'll probably like this. It's fun. This thing. It's a little bit like it's almost like the Suicide Squad as well. Yeah. A little bit. So go check that out. Too, expect us to come back around August 8th. We're planning, and we will be doing some Bombad. We're doing our 5-year anniversary stuff for them. Heck yeah! So we'll be in celebration mode, right? Yeah, we'll be in full on celebrating it. So anyway, Omar, one thing we do at the end of every show, you said that blockbuster sign up there. Yeah, that is our catchphrase. We sign off with the wonderful phrase of "staying Bombad." So just stay Bombad, whatever you want to say. Omar, to wrap this thing up, and also I need to warn Omar for the ending of every for your fans too. For the ending of every single stream, we always end on kind of a weird video. It's totally us. It's totally us. It's Man in the Mirror by the Pizza Time Players. Oh, so when you were a kid, let's just leave it at that. Yeah, my God. Just wait. So give us a good Stay Bombad, and we're gonna sign the hell out. Stay Bombad. Yeah! In 2 weeks, we'll see you there.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it? Pasquale? It's a dream about a world where nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top,
and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways.
gone for long. See you in a little bit.